I'm just not a deadline guy. I'm an artist who hates deadlines. I must have drawn the bridge 100 times, and now Harper's needs me to draw it one more time, but this time it's harder because it's done. Pictures are stories, and this story's over. They did it! The end! Happily ever after! Yay! And I don't know what to draw. 14 years I've watched it go up, stone by stone, cable by cable, and I still don't know how they did it. Or who did it. Sometimes I'd come here at night. I'd see a light in that window over there and wonder. I still wonder. Why did a decorated war hero run away from the action, the excitement of the construction, never to set foot on the bridge he built? Why did a woman, his wife, run into the fray? And now she's been given the honor to be the first to cross the bridge all by herself in a carriage while holding a rooster? So, a deadline from Harper's because tomorrow the bridge finally opens to the public. There will be the usual politicians, marching bands, fireworks, all to celebrate this 8th wonder of the world! And I still don't know what to draw. But the one thing I do know, this could only happen in New York!
Get out of my way! 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 Get out of my way!
They're building the bridge!
What do you say?
They're building the bridge!
What do you say? They're building the bridge! Get out of my way!
Hey, look at this ad. It's workers required.
$2 a day, the doubles we pay.
I'm getting me hired!
Hey, mister. Must be strong and in good health to work inside caisson.
Hey, that's right, you look strong.
I am, but what the hell is a caisson?
It's a wooden box about the size of a city block. We turn it upside down, sink it to the bottom of the East River, fill it with air, and send tough guys like you with a pick and a shovel down to start digging.
Underwater? Right.
And when you hit bedrock, we let you out of the caisson.
Okay, sounds like a coffin.
Caisson coffin sounds like money.
Hey, be at the corner of Pearl and Beekman tomorrow, 6 a.m.
$2 a day, the doubles we pay. I'm getting me hired!
Look at them. They all want to work.
I'm out of flyers, Colonel. Oh, did Emily get the news?
Send her a telegram. She's already on the train from Trenton.
Can't wait to see her. They're doing the photograph. Where's your old man?
Still in the middle of the East River, driving the ferryboat operators out of their minds with all sorts of questions.
Like what's at the bottom of the East River?
What's beyond the bottom of the East River?
Crazy genius. He'll figure it out. You'll give the orders and we'll make it happen. Oh, what a day, Washington. What a day. I feel like a kid again.
Where do you think you're going?
I'm out of flyers. Emily, we're building a bridge.
You said you were arriving at 3.
I did.
I'm sorry. Dear Emily.
Dear Emily?
My dearest one.
Oh, Washington.
I'm happy you agreed to come.
For just the day.
Since it's begun, there's something I must now confess.
You've changed your mind.
I've changed my mind. In Trenton, you're so far away.
In Trenton, I can live my way.
So simply put,
You want me here.
I need you here.
I'm staying there.
My father's dream is now in view.
You promised I'd live my life too, and not by moving to New York. Our home cannot be in New York. New York! I'll lose myself here. My plans are there. My life is there to study law. And remember, you agreed women have rights and deserve representation anywhere. Everywhere. Like Trenton. Besides, what's wrong with New Jersey?
I know you'll love it when you're here. I have to have you with me, dear.
So what do I do?
You know I love you.
So how do I say?
In every way.
In Trenton I stay.
Now out of my way! Stay out of my way! Get out of my way!
Remember, gentlemen, if you can't see the camera cannot see you.
Washington, where's your father? We're making posterity here. In Brooklyn, working. You better join us, Colonel. We need a Roebling in this photo.
All right, do not move. And hold.
Gentlemen, congratulations!
You move.
Mr. Tweed, I didn't realize...
President Grant approves bridge. They're calling it a miracle. The 8th wonder of the world.
Step in, Mr. Tweed. Oh, and you're in the frame. Everyone hold still. And hold.
The bridge is approved. The bridges are old.
Whatever they need, they'll need to ask Tweed and pay what they're told.
Okay, got it.
Wondrous thing. The public gets a miraculous new bridge, and we entrepreneurs make a few dollars along the way. New York and Brooklyn as one, eh, boys?
As long as New York gets double, Mr. Tweed?
And without New York, Mr. Husted, where would Brooklyn's bridge go to? Nowhere! And who builds a bridge to nowhere? No one! And since I can read a headline, today seemed like the perfect day to finally sign the investment agreement Mr. Kingsley so generously put on my desk a month ago. And sir, I do apologize for the delay.
Apology accepted.
Your contract, Mr. Kingsley, giving me controlling interest and proving that without New York, Brooklyn is nowhere. Ah, Mr. Nast. Drawing another one of your little lying cartoons about me, I see. Well, I give you my good side. This bridge is our gold. Whatever they need, they'll need to ask Tweed and pay what they're told.
Washington, here we go, young man. Now, what the hell is your father doing in Brooklyn, avoiding me? He's solving a mystery.
Well, like what's between the bottom of the East River and the bedrock below?
And just how far down we'll have to go. Isn't that why we're paying Mr. Farrington?
I want a raise.
So do I now. When does our lovely Emily arrive? I expect she's already packing up the house in Trenton. Well?
I'm here for the day, Mr. Kingsley. One day, and then back to Trenton.
But we'd all love to have you here. What can I do to change your mind?
Can't think of a thing.
Well, if you do, my dear, let me know. I am at your service. You're a lucky man, Colonel Roebling. A lucky man.
You see, our friends agree with me. They want you here.
Here comes the plea.
We'll find a home, a peaceful place.
Oh, Washington, you have no case.
Our calm of calm within the storm.
So nice for you if I can
Where we'll start each day, never far away from a warm embrace.
You're changing your tack.
A gentle face.
Seducing me back.
A knowing glance.
And now romance, you're
that means everything.
With pretty words you have a knack. And this is such a load of... I will not be seduced by your flowery verse. It's completely unattractive, lacks authenticity, and is a clear sign of desperation. Oh, Washington, I've waited
My
for
darling,
you. Followed you.
My life.
Taken care of you.
My love.
Don't I have the right to live my own life? To do all I can to prove to myself I'm as good as a man. Don't ask me to play by the rules of today. With women, my dear, when you keep them too near, they end up in the way. In the interest of us, since I love you so much, in Trenton I say.
Stay out of my way. Stay out of my way. This bridge will be news. So papers will sell.
We'll get this bridge named.
It'll probably sink.
Then we'll bid our farewell.
Mr. Kingsley, over a mile in length and twice as long as any bridge ever built. What do you say to those who still believe it can't be done? Just watch.
What's wrong with taking a ferry?
You can't get a train on it.
The men digging the caissons under the Mississippi keep getting sick. What makes you think they won't get sick here?
Don't worry, they won't.
I thought we were going to be meeting the architect.
Well, meet the architect's son, Colonel Washington Roebling.
Fought in Gettysburg. Here's on you, Colonel.
Thank you. And Antietam, there's Chancellorsville, Manassas. Thank you, Mr. Kingsley. Unfortunately, St. Louis doesn't have a fresh air intake system designed by my father, powered by steam. We won't be seeing those issues here.
Then why aren't they doing that
Thank you, gentlemen. And if you'll excuse us, we have a bridge to build.
Let's get this bridge and it'll probably sink. Then we'll bid our farewell.
Building the bridge.
The bridge is approved. The bridges are on. We're building the bridge. We're up to this bridge. We can be a team.
We're building the bridge of father and son. And finally one.
So now it's begun.
Architect and Chief Engineer John A. Roebling died yesterday morning at 6 o'clock.
While Mr. Roebling was engaged in making some measurements connected with the East River Bridge project, a drunken boat pilot crashed into the Fulton Ferry dock, severely bruising one of his feet.
The immediate result of this accident as the partial amputation of his foot. A serious case of tetanus followed, which led to lockjaw and finally to his death.
The remains of the much-lamented engineer will be removed to Trenton, New Jersey, and the funeral will be on Sunday.
It is expected that his son and assistant decorated war hero Colonel Washington A. Roebling will take over his duties of engineering the bridge across the East River from New York to Brooklyn.
We're almost there.
And there's nothing closer.
I told you I would never live in New York. You're going to love living in Brooklyn.
A 17-minute walk, all uphill.
That's why they call it the Heights. Oh, feel that breeze off the bay.
Emily, I'll be needed at the worksite day and night at a moment's notice.
This is it, Washington. Here we are.
And we're still in Brooklyn, Mrs. Roebling.
Not funny.
Where's the rest of it, Mrs. Roebling?
Not funny at all, Mr. Roebling. I know it's smaller than we thought, and true, the kitchen's not a lot for what they're asking. Please don't mind too much, I have to have it.
Have to have it?
Like to have it.
Yes.
To stay in touch with you. Look, from this window, no matter where you are, wherever you are on the site, I will always be able to see you. New York, Brooklyn, you could be smack dab in the middle of the East River. Oh, and I bought you this to spot you working on the site every single day. Isn't that wonderful? You're right. We'll find another place closer to your work.
From our window, we'll watch two towers touch the sky. From our window, a thread of cable floating by. And then a roll of wooden plank on steel from bank to bank will seem unreal. But we will see it happen from our window. Yes, this window.
You like it.
So, you think you're pretty smart, Mrs. Roebling?
Yes, I do, Mr. Roebling. Yes, I do.
I do too, Mrs. Roebling. I do too.
From our window, we'll see a father's plan fulfilled. From our window, his loyal son begins to build a bridge that soars beyond our wildest dreams and joins two worlds that can't, it seems, believe that it can be.
But it will be.
And they will see. And we will see it happen from our window.
18 panes of glass, designed and built for light to pass, and yet they keep us safe from rain.
A gift from God you can't explain.
I can't explain. It's as simple as a stone. This quartz has properties well known.
Yes, decrystallize with heat.
Then cool.
Transparency's complete. But then about your simple stone, where's it from?
So here we go.
How did it form?
I think you know.
All these properties you've shown in this tiny little stone. Did it do it on its own?
Okay, it's true. Some things I can't explain.
Aha!
Like you.
Me?
Emily, I can't do this.
Of course you can.
I need the plans.
They're in your hand.
They're in his head. My father's head. These are incomplete. They're only what we know. It was his vision, not mine. He would know what to do. And he's gone. The plans are gone.
They're not, Washington. They're right here. Can't you see what's meant to be? That dreams become reality through a simple window.
A lovely window.
From our window, we'll watch two towers touch the sky. From our window,
A thread of cable floating by. And then a roll of wooden plank on steel from bank to bank will seem unreal.
but we will see it happen from our window.
Yes, this window from our window, a bridge that soars beyond our wildest dreams and joins two worlds that can't, it seems, believe that it can be, but it will be,
and they will see,
and we will see it happen from our window.
I think we should take it, Mrs. Roebling.
We already have, Mr. Roebling.
I see.
you see,
Let's see.
we will see. Let's
Hey, out of my way!
Get out of my way!
Get out of my way!
No reporters, workers only. Them's the rules.
Who the hell are you?
Nobody. Now all you guys gotta get off the site now.
We don't take orders from a nobody.
Yeah, so tell us your name.
EF. Frank Farrington.
Spell it!
What?
Your name. How do you spell it?
F-R-A...
No, your last name!
Oh, F-A-R-R-I... Figure it out.
I-N-G-T-O-N.
Emily, Mrs. Roebling, you can't be here. It ain't safe.
Mr. Farrington, the workers in St. Louis are still getting sick. The size of these East River towers, won't you be going even deeper?
Well, yeah,
So will they be safe?
I can't personally answer for the problems in St. Louis because I'm not there, am I?
Oh, yeah, they're saying the deeper they go, the sicker they get.
So will they be safe?
Look, I don't know what's making them sick out there, but I'll tell you what I do know. Colonel Roebling handpicked every one of these men. Most of them are just back from the war. Like him, they survived that. I don't think you're gonna see him bothered by a little compressed air.
But will they be safe?
I don't know.
Going down.
Going down.
You're goddamn right I am.
I did it for the lady.
Sorry, ma'am.
That's
Not
just
at all.
disgusting.
No
I'm just following
questions.
orders. Get it?
Gentlemen, I would think members of the press would know how to read. Mr. Farrington, what does that sign say?
Bridge company employees only beyond this point.
There are rules, gentlemen. You're in a work area. Look up. You got a 2-ton derrick dangling right over your heads.
Get out of here. Nicely done, Mr. Roebling.
Hurry up, Anthony.
Emily?
This way.
Sorry, Colonel.
For my wife, Mr. Farrington, rules are made to be broken.
You're off the hook, EF.
What's that lumber doing here?
They ran out of yellow pine and sent us that crap. Can't use it for the caisson. It's filled with knots. How about we break it up for pallets? Colonel.
Look at her.
Sir?
She thinks I'm upset with her. For trespassing, let's do one more pressure test on the airlock, so when it hits the riverbed, we can get in there and see how pretty it is down at the bottom of the East River.
We
Emily?
promised.
What?
You're not going down there.
Emily, the laws of science and nature are squarely on our side. We have a plan.
We're marching on, Mrs. Roebling, marching on.
No more than 6 men will enter the airlock at a time. Once the hatch is sealed, cover your ears as the chamber is filled with compressed air. You will feel a confused sensation in the head as your pulse accelerates. Once at pressure, the hatch will be opened and you will climb down the ladder into the caisson to begin work.
So here we go. We're going below.
Current temperature in the caisson is 92 degrees. If you remove any articles of clothing, be sure to bring them back with you when you come up. You'll be glad you did.
So here we go.
No alcohol, no smoking. You are in an oxygen-rich environment.
We're going below.
Anyone caught smoking in the caisson will be immediately terminated.
Below the curtains in the silver box, look there. I swear it's a bear.
sir.
You replaced Mikhail. He lasted 1 day.
Smells like shit down here.
Because it is.
Welcome to the bottom of the East River.
Sewage pipe to the sea.
Digging down. Digging down, down, down.
The sooner we get through this slime, the better it'll smell down here.
Through the ground in a box, smashing rocks.
Let's get a bar under that one. It's gonna take 2 of your sandhogs.
Dripping wet, smelling sweat in a flood of bucket blood.
We're stuck in a rock. It's sitting outside the casing. Let's get everyone under the southeast shoe now.
Keep it level or we'll get another blowout.
Drilling tools, we're digging our boats.
How about a little dynamite, Colonel? Just move things along.
Too dangerous, EF. Can't take the risk.
Put your weight into it. All of it. Together.
All this shit I wanna quit. I don't dare.
Damn, we got it.
We're marching on, Colonel.
Inch by inch, Mr. Farrington. Inch by inch.
Gotta get.
Now one of your sandhogs get this crap out of here.
They say I won't last. Let them think what they may. I'm John Myers III, a man of my word, and they don't know my way. I'll be here as long as it takes them to see the husband and father I've promised to be. We'll be out of the tenement, crammed in one room, and I'll buy us a house with a garden in bloom. Then our Becca will start a new school and away. So I'm down in this hole for my wife and our girl.
'Cause we all got dreams to be high on top. So we dig below till we wanna drop. But we stand and fight till the shift is o'er. 'Cause we all got dreams that we witness for.
All right. We got a boulder the size of City Hall stuck under the shoe in the northeast chamber. We're gonna have to blast it out. Everybody close your eyes and cover your ears. And pray to God we don't all end up feeding fish in the New York Harbor.
Rumor has it you're gonna be making a little noise around here. No choice. We're adjusting the plans. And you're just in time for the fun. Black powder. Well, I hope it works.
You may not want to be out there.
Safer back here. I'm getting all kinds of pressure from the trustees. Overruns 3 months behind.
You just tell them big shots we gotta shift the 27 men down there working like dogs. If they don't like it, they can break some goddamn rocks. They'll change their tone soon enough.
I'll be sure to extend your invitation. And Mr. Kingsley, something else. We need to shorten shifts by 2 hours. Why?
Yesterday, 2 more workers came out of the caisson sick, doubled over.
Shorten the shifts. What's that going to cost?
$4,000 a week.
Kingsley!
Mr. Tweed!
They told me I'd find you here. Where is everybody? Doesn't anybody work around here?
There's a shift of 27 men right under your feet.
Emily.
And they're all working like dogs, too.
Mr. Tweed, meet my wife.
Mrs. Roebling, isn't she the clever little lady?
You couldn't be more right, Mr. Tweed. He could not be more right.
What the hell was that?
Black powder.
We're blasting boulders now, trying to move things along.
Oh, I see. Thank you.
Guess no one told Mother Nature Man was going to build a bridge here. She put a bunch of big rocks in the way.
Clever. Very clever. Kingsley!
Emily, what are you doing here?
I heard you were blasting. I didn't want to miss all the fun.
Dangerous.
Well, till death do us part. I guess I meant it. How about you?
Caisson held up to the blast, Colonel.
Thank God.
I'm heading down now.
Right behind you, Mr. Farrington.
You didn't answer my question. Till death do us part?
Goddamn thing's even stronger than we thought.
We're marching on, Mrs. Roebling, marching on.
This is the gentleman who looked in my eyes when everything changed and to my surprise, stories of princes I never believed seemed to come true when you came into view and asked me to dance with you in your crisp uniform, blue and gold. A prince sent to me. Is this a gift from God that we are simply meant to be? Together dancing like the moon around the earth, amid the stars, round and round to glide across a heaven that is ours, turning independently, connected for eternity. That's what they are, they're meant to be. The moon sails past and tides roll in, a dance that gives and takes to a universal heartbeat and the rhythm that it makes, following such simple laws forevermore and all, because that's where they are, they're meant to be. This river flows from higher lands while following still higher plans, so it may reach its lofty goal of joining oceans pushed and pulled. For dancing with the moon above like you and me, my love, are we meant to be, my love?
We all got dreams to be high on top.
We share a dream.
Yeah, we all got dreams.
Look to the stars.
Yeah, we all got dreams.
Perhaps we'll find
Yeah,
that
we all
dreams
got
like ours
dreams. Yeah, we
are
all
always
got
meant to be
dreams.
together, dancing like the moon around the earth, amid the stars, round and round to glide across a heaven that is ours, turning independently, connected for eternity. That's who we are. We're meant to be, my love. Who we are. We
Cause we all got dreams to be high on top, so we can't give up till we want
Alrighty, 3 more, you stand home from the South Shore. Now,
till the ship is o'er. Cause we all got dreams.
There's smoke in the southwest chamber.
holy shit, who hung this lamp here?
There's fire already in the rafters.
Signal Barrington and get some buckets. Quick! Get some water in here and lower the pressure. We need that pump. Keep it coming. Shit, it's not working. Where's the pump? Need the goddamn pump down here now. Don't stop those buckets. Give it all you got, man. Oh my God. Let's put up into the beams too. We gotta drill into this wood and see if we get some water up in here.
Fire's invaded the third course of timber. What are we gonna do?
Get everybody up top, and now!
All right, everybody into the airlock, 6 at a time.
We've got to stop feeding this fire. It's the compressed air, too much oxygen.
What are we gonna do?
Flood it.
What?
The caisson, flood it.
Can it handle it?
We're gonna find out.
Yeah, we all got dreams to be high on top, so we dig a bit till we wanna die.
Flood it. Open the valves.
Washington!
Dr. Smith says a bout of the bend, some paralysis in the legs. It's likely temporary, but you won't be back on site tomorrow.
Ain't no need. We'll be pumping out the caisson for another month at least. But it held up, Colonel. It's a good opportunity for you to get some well-deserved rest.
Rest. Novel idea, Washington.
Even before this, people are saying nothing's getting done. They'll love being right. We'll lose public support.
We'll win it back.
I hope you're right. You're married to a hero, Mrs. Roebling. Good night, Colonel. The public has no idea of what we've achieved because they can't see it. Our work's invisible. It's all under the East River.
How about you show them your father's Stereopticon slideshow? They could see it and have a nice nap at the same time.
It sold the bridge to Kingsley and the trustees.
I was joking, Washington.
I'm supposed to give this speech to the Society of Civil Engineers at Columbia University. We'll dust off the magic lantern.
Out of question. Doctor says rest.
Emily, I can manage this.
I'll take care of Columbia University.
Emily, you know more about this bridge than anyone I know. But they'll never come to hear a woman speak, even one as smart and enchanting as you.
Thank you, I guess. But I have someone else in mind.
Huh? You've got to be kidding. Emily, you wrote that speech for me, and now you're handing it to Farrington? What happened to loyalty? Don't be nervous, EF.
Ooh, San Columbia, alma mater.
This bridge we build for all mankind is for the greater good. Mrs. Roebling, I can't concentrate with all this noise.
We're sorry, Mrs. Roebling. We had no idea you needed this space.
Neither did we.
Our rehearsal will be over in an hour. We'll try to sing quietly.
Thank you. One more time, please, Mr. Farrington. And a bit louder this time, Mr. Farrington.
This bridge we built for all mankind is for the greater good. I hope these words I speak today... Mrs. Roebling, we have to cancel.
Mr. Farrington, you like going to the music hall?
Yeah, good idea. Let's go.
Imagine the great Tony Astor giving the speech you're holding in your hand. Like this. This bridge we built for all mankind is for the greater good.
I cannot speak these words you wrote,
although I bet you could. Yes, we agreed that you should.
Thank you, gentlemen. So much has been accomplished,
but all cannot be seen.
Cannot be seen.
Wow, you're good.
Continue, Mr. Farrington.
We hope some facts to glean so.
You may recall a winter not so very long ago. The river frozen solid and our ferries wouldn't go. The only way to get across was buy yourself a sled. But the Roeblings took one look and said, let's build a bridge instead.
Let's build a bridge, let's build a bridge.
First you find the perfect place to make the crossing, then you purchase all the real estate you can.
Yes, you can.
You gotta figure how to dig beneath the water, so you scratch your brain.
Then you attain
knowledge that you need to build a giant caisson, even though they say it really can't be done.
Sounds like fun.
About as big as Noah's Ark.
It takes a while to finally park it.
Once it's parked, the shift to 40, men start digging about as hard as any men have worked before.
Such a joy.
Through mud and sand,
These men are grand.
the work gets rougher.
Men get tougher.
At a fire,
Things were dying.
put it out.
So much to tell.
Still lots to do.
He's almost through.
A Brooklyn tower started and they're digging across the way. They keep fighting to that bedrock down below. So this is where we are to date. They're going slow.
But worth the wait.
This bird will soon be cooked and we'll stick in a fork.
Yes.
A bottle of champagne and we'll all pop the cork.
Ooh-wee.
I hope you're buying what I tell you, cause this bridge I'm here to sell ya.
Yes, he is.
From Brooklyn to New York. Thank you, gentlemen. I hope you
you're all as excited as we are about the building of this amazing bridge. From Brooklyn to New York.
You're not done, Mr. Farrington. There are more slides.
But I haven't really rehearsed that part. Maybe we should leave them wanting more.
Show them the future, Mr. Farrington, in all its glory.
Here I am with more to show about what's to come, so here we go. Towers will be built upon the new foundations on the underwater caissons that we dig.
That's big.
The stone we use is granite, it's the strongest on the planet, and it comes from Maine.
Yes, please explain.
Okay, once they're both erected, they will need to be connected with some cables made of metal that we've spun. From tower to tower and shore to shore.
Who'd have thought there'd be much more?
And from the cables we will hang a road of steel to bring together people from both sides. Some will walk,
They will fall,
take the train,
won't complain.
ride a bike,
Take a hike,
have a stroll,
reach a goal.
carriage ride,
That's implied,
ride a horse.
but of course,
So many ways.
it does amaze.
Now here's the map.
So let's recap.
We find the land,
Truly grand.
Cajun sink,
On the ring.
foundation strong,
along.
towers climb,
Just in time.
cable strong,
Runs around.
roadway span.
Just in time.
I thank you all for listening to our presentation. It was kind of you to lend your eyes and ears.
3 cheers.
So if you like what we impart, please tell your friends to not lose heart. Because this bird will soon be cooked and we'll stick in a fork a bottle of champagne and we'll all pop the cork. I hope you're buying what I tell you, cause this bridge I'm here to sell ya.
Yes, you are.
From Brooklyn to New
Brooklyn to New
York.
Brooklyn to New Brooklyn to New York.
Case 7, E. Riley, Ireland, age 32.
Taken sick February 16th, 1 hour after leaving the caisson. Current pressure inside the caisson was 26 pounds per inch.
Case 12. Joseph Brown, America, age 28.
Taken sick on the 28th of February, 1 hour after coming up from the 3-hour watch. Pressure then being 26.5 pounds per inch.
Case 19, Henry Stroud, Germany, age 40.
Taken sick April 2nd, about a half an hour after coming up from the first watch. Pressure then being 28 pounds per inch.
Shorten shifts in the caisson by 30 minutes.
Case 26, Reardon, England, age 38.
They say I won't lie.
Morning of May 17th, advised to only work the first shift but went back again in the afternoon. The pressure then being 35 pounds per inch.
No more than half a shift each day per man.
Case 28,
John Myers the third,
France,
a man
age
of my
27.
word, and they
You've gotta get more
my
clean air down there.
Had suffered previously from pain in the chest
I'll be
and the
here
limbs,
as long as it takes them to
Had 2 more air pumps.
which compelled him to
the
give up work.
husband and father I promised to be.
Case 30, John Myers, Ireland, age 23. Died June 14th, 1872.
Strong build. Commenced work in the caisson on the 22nd of April. The pressure then being 37 pounds to the inch.
Shifts are now shortened to 2 1/2 hours.
Sometimes the pain lasted all night.
And
the
every
knees
other day.
mostly. And it felt as though the joints were being
Steady,
violently
man.
twisted apart
Forward.
from the muscles
March.
and the
Hand on our
bones.
flank.
Or worse. When it
We will
is
hire
severe,
only
local
single
numbness
men
and weakness
with no
resembled
immediate
a
family.
blow to the
Can't hold the
testicle.
line, Colonel. We're losing it.
In one
Tell
out of
them.
4 cases, the attack
We
caused
need
dizziness, double
reinforcements.
vision. They were repeated
No
vomiting,
wives, no
and
children.
they would fall.
They broke it through.
All of a sudden, it was staggering.
keep your heads
bend over,
down.
let
What do we
children
do?
fall.
We need
Sometimes there was no
reinforcements.
pain at all, just a
Half our
massive lump
battalion is
feeling.
cut off. We're sitting
Inability
down.
to stand
We've got
up
to
right.
retreat. We've got to retreat. Run! Run, men! Run!
Where are you, Papa? I need you. Daddy, wait for me. Slow down, I can't keep up. Please, I can't keep up. Maybe if I'm running faster, careful not to fall. Oh, Papa, thought I was lost. Sit. Yes, let's sit. I can feel my heart is beating, and I'm breathing hard. Breathing oh so hard, breathing. Daddy, Daddy. I'm sorry, I'm so small. It's alright, dearest one. What's that on the ground, my son? Just a stone, a little stone. Yes, a little stone, and so much more. A piece of quartz. Let's try to look into its core. Little stone, look inside. Secrets of the world can't hide. When you seek, you will find the answers deep within your mind. When mysteries seem tightly sealed, with knowledge they can be revealed. For knowing what is on the ground makes little riches heaven bound. So you see, it's not so far. A boy might even reach a star. Papa, Papa, I can even touch a star.
Stop digging! The New York Tower will be built here.
On sand, Colonel? We're still another 30 feet from bedrock. Your father always said...
We've lost too many men. We'll lose no more. I cannot take responsibility for this decision. This decision is mine, and mine alone. At 60 feet, we found the bones of a domesticated sheep. 10 feet later, no such evidence. This geological stratum dates to the Ice Age. The sand is so compact, the men can barely get a pick through it. It has not moved in over 1 million years. I trust it will not move in another. I'll need a statement from you to that effect for the press and for approval from the Society of Civil Engineers.
As long as the bridge is built on your shoulders, eh, Colonel?
Prepare to fill the caisson with concrete.
As the Reverend Beecher would say, out of the dark and into the light we go.
Mr. Farrington says your decision may have saved 100 lives. Or more. Your father would have done the same. And Kingsley is backing you in the papers. You have no right to torture yourself this way. You, my dearest, have gone above and beyond the call. And if you don't mind my saying, you've done much too much already. He's come for your revised work plans. Farrington's at a standstill without them. He's not feeling well. Still recovering, I'm afraid, but he promises to have the plans to you first thing tomorrow morning. I've managed to buy you a bit of time, Washington.
Yes, we'll rally round the flag. Boys will rally once again, shouting the battle cry of freedom. We will rally from the hillside, we'll gather from the plain, shouting the battle cry of freedom.
The Union forever, hurrah, boys, hurrah!
springing to the call of our brothers gone before, shouting the battle cry of freedom, and we'll fill our vacant ranks with 1,000,000 free men more. Shouting the battle cry of freedom.
Shouting the battle cry of freedom.
I'm sorry, but he's gonna need till this afternoon. Begging your pardon, ma'am, but Mr. Kingsley asked me to give you this for Mr. Roebling.
What is it?
Liniment, Mrs. Roebling. Mr. Kingsley says Dr. Smith has had some success using this to treat the bends.
I'm not completely dressed at the moment.
Oh, begging your pardon?
If you don't mind just handing it through.
Of course, Mrs. Roebling. Got it?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, and begging your pardon again, Mrs. Roebling.
Yes?
I'll let Mr. Kingsley know I'll be back this afternoon to pick up the work plans.
Work plans, yes, do that. Persistent young man.
"18 panes of glass, designed and built for light to pass. A gift from God. They need the plans, they need them now. If only you could show me how to help you work, I can assist. Perhaps I start to make a list of things that still need your review. It's just a list of what to do, what to do, what to do. You've got to tell me what to do."
I'm sorry, I shouldn't be touching them. They're your plan. You're the engineer. They'll simply have to wait for your plans. I'll tell them, and they'll wait.
"I do not understand your scribblings here that say revise. Is that referring to the type of stone? Oh, it's meant for here. So now, my dear, let me adjust the size within your notes. Then I'll leave well enough alone."
I'll just clear up some of the confusion and then... I really don't know how you've done all this. I know, don't tell me I married a genius. So did you. Are we supposed to assume these sets of double lines represent low tide and high tide extremes? I'll just clarify by writing it in.
"We're marching on, Colonel dear, we're marching on. Because I'm here to keep you on track, but it's not clear when examining this chart conveying when these goods arrive. Should I fill in the dates or leave it be? It seems I should to make it understood. Now I can derive these numbers here. And dear, I know that you'd agree. We're marching on, Colonel Roebling, marching on. We're marching on, marching on.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, just give me one moment to tidy up. I will be right there. Oh, good morning, Mr. Kingsley.
Afternoon, Mrs. Roebling.
Afternoon. Yes, Washington's just in the other room working on the plan, so I just try to keep quiet. If you don't mind just giving me a moment, Mr. Kingsley. He's very close, perhaps tomorrow.
I have a meeting with the Board of Trustees about how to move forward. And with whom?
I see.
This evening.
Well, I'm sure he'll have them done by tonight.
He will. Good. Oh, and how was that liniment, by the way?
Oh, yes, liniment. So thoughtful and so helpful. Thank you.
No. Thank you, Mrs. Roebling.
We're marching on, Colonel Roebling, marching on. We're marching on.
Mr. Tweed.
Did you see Harper's? I'm a bird. That nasty little roach made me a bird, and it's your fault, Kingsley. You and your goddamn bridge that's not being built.
We're just in a bit of a stall.
Stall my ass. Look. Thomas Nast has got me hatching bags of money. I'm a goddamn chicken. It's not funny, Kingsley. I'm tired of being blamed for all the idiotic things that happen around here, and I'm not going to be blamed for this. Most New Yorkers don't even believe this bridge could be built in the first place. I could probably make myself a hero by pulling my support.
That sounds like a threat.
Because it is a threat.
Just waiting on work plans from Roebling.
Look, Mr. Kingsley, I don't care if you have to build it, tear it down, and build it again. I need money changing hands, people getting paid, like me.
He's had a relapse of the bends. And frankly, like so many others, I'm not sure he's recovered from the war.
Get somebody else.
We already have.
Who?
His wife promises we'll have the plans we need to move forward finished today.
His wife?
Look, before we started this project, the old man requested that I pay for Washington to go to Hamburg and study some innovative engineering principles, which I did. Emily joined. She was with him in every class.
As smart as she is pretty, if this gets out...
We're done. So, it won't get out, will it?
Finally. A Roebling who will take orders. What a gift. She'll do anything we want.
Careful, Tweed.
Who's that friend of yours in Brooklyn? The contractor.
Hay, J. Lloyd Hay.
That's right. J. Lloyd Hay and Company. We'll take the wire contract from Roebling and give it to him. It's a win-win. I can smell the money already. And besides, who can argue with buying local? Perhaps I was wrong about Brooklyn, Mr. Kingsley.
Excuse me, Mr. Kingsley, but we're all waiting for you.
Just, speaking with Mr. Tweed about,
horse racing. Giving Kingsley a tip on how to win at the horses.
Good evening, gentlemen.
You won.
I hope I'm not interrupting anything important. Colonel Roebling sends his greatest apologies for the delay, but is certain you will find all in order and well worth the wait.
Your timing is better than you know.
Please extend our thanks to the Colonel. So, I see he has multiple figures for concrete shipments.
Use the figures on the left based on weight of granite over cubic footage. There will be considerably less waste and ultimately save time and labor. As explained to me by my husband.
Yeah, I remember. Thank you, Mrs. Roebling.
So glad your husband is feeling better, Mrs. Roebling. Well, we're back in business, boys?
Oh, and the tip, Mr. Tweed.
Mr. Huston.
If you don't mind.
Always put your money on the prettiest horse. You'll always win. You are a clever little lady, Mrs. Roebling.
It is what they say.
Oh, it's what I say, Mrs. Roebling, what I say.
Mr. Farrington, I believe we have a bridge to build.
All right, unload the crates of hardware first, then the lumber. And what the hell is this gravel still doing here? O'Malley, grab a shovel and get this goddamn gravel out of here.
I've just succeeded with our clever little con. I simply gave them what they needed, their conclusions now foregone. To just move forward with the plan, not even noticing the source. We'll now complete what you began. Together we will stay the course. We're marching on, Colonel dear, we're marching on. A little charade now leads the parade, we're marching on.
Got our marching orders. Let us get at it. This orders to move on to the barge now.
We're marching on.
But we stand and fight till the shift is o'er. 'Cause we hung our dreams that we win this one.
We're marching on to what's beyond. We'll make the climb from dark to light. It seems the dream is back in sight. Where your towers touch the sky, like two cathedrals eye to eye with Trinity steeple. So then the people can't deny our thread of cable floating by, and a road of wooden plank on steel from bank to bank will now seem real, and I will make it real so we can see it happen. From our window, we're marching on, Colonel Roebling, marching on.
gravel first, then the lumber. Read the plans. She brought them all the way down from the heights so we could get back to work.
Get out of my way.
Don't I have the right to live my own life, to do all I can to prove to myself I'm as good as a man? So I'm ready to play, step into the fray. And now when they hear a woman, my dear, they'll do what I say. With our little scheme, we'll reach for the dream. So out of my way. We're marching on, Colonel Roebling, marching on. Together we climb, one step at a time. We're marching on to the dream. We're marching on, as into the fray to carry the day. We're marching on. We're building the bridge. We're building the bridge. Now I have the right, so we're marching on.
Yeah, we're marching on. The many faces of tweed, so many faces indeed. It doesn't matter where you are, you could be near, you could be far. Just find this face in the crowd, this handsome face oh so proud, and you will get what you need from one of the many, 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 many faces of tweed. So cast your eyes upon this face, your rubric face of joy and grace. For charity it always will shine. Notice my halo so divine. His halo is a sign. Now Sunday mornings we sing our praise for what he doth bring. To deacons even he is raised. For what I call upon the plate. Are you saying? Hey, day. You will get what you need from one of the many, 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 many faces of tweed. Let us all observe his beautiful heart, his beautiful heart, his beautiful heart, his beautiful heart. With babies round, he never misses. I love to shower them with kisses. He shows us how much he cares, tossing the weak and meet theirs, which all the women duly know. If only mothers had the vote, so daddies root for this guy. No wives and babies will cry, and you will get what you need from one of the many, 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 many faces of tweed.
Cause I'm inspired, you see, when I'm required to be in your vicinity. Wish there were more of me.
Now I work night, night and day to get your bright time away. So with the work of two, I'll do this part of do. See my agility and flexibility. It may not seem like much, it's how I stay in touch with my constituency, so they will vote like me. Now here's a face that's awfully rough. You see the glare, you know he's tough. On fire with us, on every beat, and with the speed of our sheet, we kick those criminals off the street.
Forgive my need to boast, I've got the face you love the most.
But don't forget this face of mine.
Mothers who like mine.
Together we won't be outdone. Two faces always beat out one.
That's what the criminals like flies.
Not my smiling Irish eyes.
Now something always take the fact that we're sincere and it's no act. So choose the best for one and all.
Support your local Tammany Hall. Will grow bigger when you love my public figure. One more time. Vote with Tammany and me, you'll see that we are going places. Many, 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 many faces of teen. Faces indeed. Thank you. Here's to Thomas Nast and his bogus cartoons for inspiring our little number. Bravo, boys, bravo. Tonight, we are here to honor a great man. And to help us do that, please welcome his wife, Mrs. Washington Roebling. Beauty and brains. Oh, my heart. Is there a doctor? No, I'm fine. But there are those out there who wish I weren't. And I know who you are, Mr. Nast. For Colonel Roebling, this plaque is a small token of our appreciation. I'll read it. From the men of Tammany Hall and all New Yorkers, we extend our gratitude. Speaking of gratitude, did you know my little Mary Amelia's getting married, Mrs. Roebling? I'm sure you've read about it in the papers.
Page 3.
Correct. Harper's is calling it the wedding of the century, but Mr. Nasty and his cartoons make me look like this guy.
A common street thug?
Yes, clever, very clever. See, that is my point. My voters may not be able to read, but they understand every word of these damn pictures. Oh, we extend our gratitude for your exemplary work in traversing the East River to join the great city of New York with and Mr. Nasty. To show you I have no hard feelings, I'm inviting you to the wedding too, where you can see your common street thug throws, and how did Harper's put it? The wedding of the century for his little girl, who's breaking her father's heart. I'll bet you've broken a few hearts too, Mrs. Roebling.
How did you know, Mr. Tweed?
It's what you women do best.
That's what we'd like you to think.
Touché, my dear. Very smart. It is, however, a proven scientific fact that women's brains are smaller than men's. So be careful what you say. We have you outnumbered.
I'm doing the math right now.
Oh, please do extend our thanks and congratulations to your husband. And remember, when you're there for Tammany, Tammany's there for you one more time.
And his affections will grow bigger when you love his public figure.
Oh, and black tie, Mr. Nast, black tie.
And you will get what you need from one of the many, 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 many faces of
Oh, what fun. Thank you, boys. Thank you.
A great night, Mr. Tweed.
Yes, it was. Let them say what they may. Just be sure to always get the last laugh. Isn't that right, Emily?
Always.
I'm inviting all of you to the wedding, too.
Oh, thank you, but...
I've already outspent the Astors.
But I couldn't possibly...
Not without an escort.
Mr. Farrington, you're now her escort.
Well...
It's settled. Gentlemen, join me. I've just received a box of Cuban cigars. A little thank you for receiving the wire contract from J. Lloyd Hay and Company.
What?
Kingsley, didn't you tell her?
Well, no, it's not public knowledge yet.
Emily's not the public.
So what do I do?
She's family.
The contract was to go to Roebling and Sons in Trenton.
The board felt it was a conflict of interest.
Oh, feel free to tell your husband.
He's changing the game.
And extend our congratulations for the award.
Emily, this is probably for the best. It's less stress for you and your husband.
It will be less stressful if he knows the wire meets Roebling specifications.
Don't worry your pretty little head, young lady. In this case, we have our rhyme and our reason. And it's all under control, eh, Mr. Kingsley?
Of course.
And who has a prayer when the fight isn't fair?
Mr. Hay has been in the supply business his entire
Man
life.
have no shame.
All right, gentlemen. Good night, Emily.
I'll be right with you. Emily, one of the men found this stone on the work site. Thought maybe your husband might know what it is.
I'm sure he will. Pretty, isn't it?
It matches your eyes.
Mr. Farrington?
Can I get you a carriage, Mrs. Roebling?
Duty calls.
Good night, Emily. Mrs. Roebling.
My little Mary Amelia will be pleased you'll be at her wedding. Truly admires you. Calls you the clever little lady.
Clever little lady. It is what they say.
And be sure to save a dance for the father of the bride, Mrs.
Clever
Roebling.
little lady. Let them say what they may. While I calculate the rhyme and find the reason for this change. You don't know all that I know and will not see me rearrange the pieces on our board of play. So go and smoke your night away while I quietly proceed. Now, Mr. Tweed, out of my way.
Silica with iron oxide microscopic sheen.
Making progress.
Metamorphic carnelian cryptocrystalline identified.
Categorizing the sedimentaries, I see. Here, drink all of it, darling.
Thank you.
All of it.
Yes.
I wish you were there. They all asked for you too. Sending many good wishes and offering to me for you anything they might do.
Of course. How
If
nice.
only they knew. And here's your certificate, so beautifully framed, from the men of Tammany Hall. Shall we find it a spot on the wall?
Put it anywhere, my dear.
Tweed has invited us all to his daughter's wedding. Takes all I have to remain polite, all while batting my eyes.
Should I be ashamed?
Oh, and I found this on the site. Thought you might know what it is. Said it matches my eyes.
Gravity and density, check weight and measure size. Placement of the specimen in axis 32 by 25.
What do you think?
Yes, tourmaline reflects this kind of light.
Tweed would love for you to join us for the wedding.
I can't go.
Tried to get us out of it, to no avail. And now I have to get a dress made and a fabric. And who has time for that? Oh, and did you know that I have a tiny brain?
Really?
According to Tweed, all women do.
You should have recited him the equation for the catenary curve.
Y equals A cosine X over A.
Very nice, my dear.
I don't think the catenaries are the kind of curves he's interested in, my dear.
Smart and funny, too.
'Cause I'm a clever little lady, you know that it's true. Your clever little lady does what she must do, like put on an act for everyone's view. And in fact, she'll ask for a dance, a waltz just for two.
It's like the evening we met at the officers' ball. I was so afraid of stepping on your feet. Little did I know you would sweep me off of mine. Dancing. It's so good for us, Washington. Keeps us close. We need to do it more often. Reminds us of why we are so in love.
As she falls into bed with her husband, her lover, her everything, and stays there to spoon and sleep until noon, and spoon in our cozy cocoon. We'll spoon until noon.
And some news. Looks like the contract for the wire company will be awarded to J. Lloyd Hay and Company.
What?
They're calling it a conflict of interest, but it will be less stressful for you and...
Conflict of interest? Roebling and Sons.
We've got enough on our plate.
We'll sell our stock. Did you tell them that?
I had no idea you would even consider.
There's gotta be some way around this. Some legal technicality. Talk to Kingsley.
Kingsley seems to think that... Oh no, darling, I'm so sorry!
When you seek, you will find the answers deep within your mind.
No, it's me. I'm so clumsy. You're going to be all right.
For knowing what is on the ground makes little reaches heaven bound. So you see, it's not so far. A boy might even reach a star. Papa, Papa.
And now your clever little lady will find what's inside. Your clever little lady will not let you hide. As she crawls into bed with her husband, her lover, her everything, and stays there to spoon and sleep until noon and spoon in our cozy cocoon. We'll sleep until noon.
Meg now mignon de vil tora shani Dau hivni gom spervan heim kor Dau tina barote latin Le yalnoe istekla dabare Estebial talibin Dale meis fedendal nakrom Iser niños novin say.
Hey O'Malley, are you supposed to be working up there?
I am working and enjoying this view.
Get back to work, O'Malley. Break's not for another 15 minutes.
I can't hear ya.
I said... You give Ireland a bad name.
On a blanket of fog sits a tower of stone. Climb yourself to the top, you find yourself all alone. Take a look at the world, a world you thought that you knew. 'Cause when you're standing up here and the mist starts to clear, you find a much better view. Ooh. There's that bloke, Delaney Nolan. He works the morning shift, keeps those derrick boilers steaming, so these stones can get their lift to this place amid the sky, their final resting place on high. So I'll stand up here and thank him for this gift. Will anyone 100 years from now even recall this man who did his part to get these towers to stand so tall? Though he may not be remembered when all is said and done, tonight he'll get off work and have the right to tell his son that he built the bridge. He built the bridge.
by the stone, it's Giordano. He's just about to start, takes a breath and swings his hammer, making granite fall apart. His perfect pieces now will stay on the tower. So we'll all say over there, that's Giordano's work of art. And here comes Clarence Freeman, the one we call the Kid, bringing water to us workers. They'll never know what all he did to keep us moving on and climbing to the sky. But tonight the Kid can say with all of us, and it's no lie, that we built the bridge. We built the bridge. Then there's a woman comes here every day, says her piece, then walks away. But those papers and the plans she leaves behind, you know they're in the work we do. So once our work is finally through, if someone digs a bit, I bet they'll find that she built the bridge. She built the bridge. Will anyone 100 years from now even recall the men, and yes, this woman, who got these towers to stand so tall? Though we may not be remembered when all is said and done, still I'll stand up here tonight and tip my hat to what's begun. Yes, we built the bridge. We built the bridge. We built the bridge. We built the bridge.
All right, 15-minute break. Except for you, O'Malley. You keep working up there. And stop singing those sad songs. And just slows things down.
At 7 o'clock last evening, Miss Mary Amelia Tweed, daughter of William Marcy Tweed of New York, was married to Arthur Ambrose McGinnis of New Orleans at Trinity Chapel.
I'm so glad to be home. Everyone was there. I mean, everyone. Never felt more out of place in my life.
Following the ceremony, the bridal party drove to Mr. Tweed's palatial mansion, corner of 43rd Street and 5th Avenue.
We're glad you could join us, Mr. Nast. May I take your coat?
Thank you. No, I don't intend to stay.
Can I get you a glass of champagne? If you change your mind.
Presents to the bride, mostly sterling silver, filled an entire room and are stated to have cost over $500,000.
Oh, and then Tweed summoned me to dance with him.
You have the right to say no.
Emily, where are you hiding? Ah, there you are.
Because you're tired.
I paid for this 24-piece orchestra, and I intend to get my money's worth. Maestro?
Or that your feet are hurting.
Come on, my dear, a deal's a deal.
When the ordinary observer sees this profusion of personal expenditure, he cannot fail to inquire,
Whence came the wealth thus lavish?
Excuse me, Mr. Nast. Mr. Tweed has long admired your talents as an artist.
Very kind.
He has found a group of benefactors. They're tired of seeing you draw your usual cartoons and would love to see you grow as an artist. They're prepared to offer you $100,000 to move to Paris for art lessons.
Well, study in Paris.
What artist wouldn't?
$100,000.
Yes, not your typical starving artist.
Let Mr. Tweed know I will think about it.
Good.
Oh, and would that include housing? Paris is quite expensive.
Yes, it is. Let me find out.
In the case of Mr. Tweed, it was notoriously neither wealth inherited nor private business that made his millions. It was made in a few short years from his salary as a public servant.
Emily, this traveler cable they're stretching over the river will be strong, yes?
Though merely the diameter of my thumb, the wire itself is crucible steel. It will carry the workers across the river as they spin the wires from the main cables. It's very strong.
Good, that's what I've told PT.
PT?
Barnum, I've given him the nod to be the first.
First what?
To cross the river on that traveler cable of yours. It'll be quite a show.
Mr. Tweed,
He's got this notion about hoisting one of his elephants onto the cable and riding it across the river.
It's not feasible.
It has to be a worker. We're testing the system.
He's a showman. He'll come up with something. It's for publicity. Tell your husband. He'll understand.
My husband has already selected Mr. Farrington.
Farrington?
To show the workers it's safe. If he can ride across the wire, they can too.
If a man has lots of money, he has a right to spend it as fast and as freely as he likes, as long as he breaks no laws. Any other man, however, is as free to talk about where the money came from as the millionaire is to spend it.
The benefactors understand your position and would love to offer you an additional $150,000 to purchase a home.
A mansion?
In Paris!
In Paris? Where I'll have to move my family and be able to support them. I'm sure you understand.
Yes, I most certainly do. Let me see. Everyone's in such good spirits, the wedding and all.
The public, therefore, are not only entitled to discuss Mr. Tweed's millions, but are even implored to do so on the night of his daughter's nuptials.
Eat, drink, and where's the music I'm paying for? Something spirited, maestro!
I can't do it, Mrs. Roebling.
It needs to be you. So the workers trust the strength of the wires.
I'll arrange brass bands on both sides. New York and Brooklyn, you'll be famous, Mr. Farrington.
I really can't.
You've earned it. And we'll be cheering you on from the other side.
Lord Almighty walked on water. Mr. Farrington won't even get his feet wet.
I'm afraid of heights.
Just don't look down, Mr. Farrington. Don't look down.
Your timing couldn't be better. The benefactor's given me permission to make a final offer of $500,000.
$500,000?
Yes, $500,000 to study in Paris and stop drawing your cartoons.
My cartoons? Well, I don't think I'll do it.
What?
I need to find out something.
And what's that?
If the pen is actually mightier than the bribe. You see, not too long ago, I decided to put some fellows behind bars.
What's going on here? Let go of me! Unhand me!
The evening was passed in dancing, conversations, and visits to the supper room provided by Delmonico's. It was late in the evening before the festivities were brought to a close.
We tested the traveler cable with a sandbag this morning.
How'd it go?
Great. But it wasn't shaking as much as you.
Yeah.
With these sweaty palms, I'll hold on tight till my breathing calms. Whoa! I'm taking flight. Moving higher, so much higher. This is dire, skin's on fire. Take a breath now. Feeling better. It's just a little stress. I'm under some duress. Okay, I confess, I'm really a mess. And my armpits, my God, my friggin' armpits. And this sweater, I've never been wetter.
Crap, I'm sneezing. 'Cause I'm freezing and stuck on a wire. Moving higher, 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 higher. Don't look down. Don't look down, down, down. Oh, down. But look at him. Looking at me. How the hell did I get to become this guy I got to be? Pretty sure I don't deserve it, and probably can't preserve it. These marching bands and shaking hands like some celebrity who amazingly they're all looking up here to see. Just look at them, looking at me on a wire, moving higher, higher, higher on a wire, soaring higher, higher, higher. And look, it's Emily, Emily looking at me. Looking at Emily, looking at me. Can it be Emily is the reason I see all that I see through the clouds, adoring crowds and marching bands with pounding drums and all that comes with all this pomp and circumstance for me. Or maybe, just maybe, it's really for Emily, dear Emily. For it was Emily who's given all this to me, a nobody who's now a somebody, 'cause nobody could see what she knew I could be. And since they're looking at me, they don't see that it's she, not me, should be on the marquee. Oh, I will thank Emily for making me me. I honestly gotta tell Emily all that she means to me. Now I see her looking at me. I'm dizzy and shaky and sweaty, and God, I love her. Look at her, looking at me. Who's imagining that Emily might love someone like me? They're striking up the band now. Holy crap, I'm gonna land now. Among the cheers and all my fears, I finally found what's for me, dearest Emily. Look at 'em, look at 'em, look at 'em, look at 'em, look at 'em all, looking at me.
Now connected by a single wire, I hereby proclaim the great cities of New York and Brooklyn officially engaged. Mr. Farrington has graciously offered the engagement ring from Brooklyn, and New York has accepted.
Yes! I mean, thank you. I mean, I can't believe I just did that. Oh, but I wasn't alone up there. Everyone that was watching was up there with me the entire way. Oh, I could hear the bands and your cheers, and I couldn't have done it without everybody. And one person, Emily, thank you. Oh, I love you. I love you. I love you all.
Let's hear it for our brave master mechanic, Frank Farrington.
All right. Everyone back to work. Drop the lines.
What are you doing? Hook the safety first. One gust of wind and you'll be taking a dip in the East River. And I'm not going to be the one to fish you out. Congratulations, you just spun your first mile of wire. Only 14,000 more to go. Okay, we got stiff breeze coming off the harbor today. Let's all keep an eye on our carriages and use your safeties. That goes for you too, O'Malley. Looks like the wind is picking up. They're saying gale force by this afternoon. Let's secure everything up here and ride this one out. Nice work, men. We've got the sun on our backs and a gentle breeze off the water. Enjoy it. You've earned it. What the hell? What's going on over here?
McGrath, he's down. One of the wires just snapped. Knocked him clean off the anchorage. I'm okay. The wire, it just snapped.
Yeah, we all got dreams, and we all want more. So we climb up here till the shift is on.
It ain't right. This wire's garbage.
But it's all tested before it's delivered.
This batch is as brittle as glass.
Take it out.
We can't. It's woven in with the good.
Get Roebling. Get Mrs. Roebling down here now.
It's a scam! We've been taken, Mr. Kingsley, by J. Lloyd Hay and Company.
Careful, Mr. Hay is a respected Brooklyn businessman and a personal friend.
Nevertheless, while en route to the site, he would take his batch of good wire into a rented warehouse and replace it with the bad wire we'd already rejected. Guess a man could save a few dollars that way.
J. Lloyd Hay is scum, and we're done.
Look, the main cables are designed to factor a safety of 6.
In plain English, Mrs. Roebling.
Even with the bad wire woven in, the wires will still be 4 to 6 times stronger than the anticipated loads. The bad wire with the good, sandwich in, and demand Mr. J. Lloyd Hay and Company, at their expense, deliver the additional wire to the exact specifications of the original architect and engineer, under Mr. Farrington's strict supervision.
We'll have to go to the board, and that could take...
Just give her the goddamn wire. Oh, sorry, ma'am.
Not at all.
Consider it done.
Thank you, Mr. Farrington.
I should thank Emily for making me me.
So this is the legendary Emily Roebling.
Mayor, I want to thank you for all Brooklyn is doing.
Well, for that, you can thank Mr. Tweed.
God rest his soul if he ever had one.
Imagine that scoundrel escapes from prison, runs off to Spain only to be identified by one of those cartoons he hated so much, is then brought back to rot in a New York City jail.
He never did like to pay taxes.
Oh, Thomas Nass gets the last laugh, and the bridge is in our hands now.
Engineering is almost complete, and we are now down to color and quality of paint.
And the additional steel, which I've already signed off on.
This is news.
Our response to the recent bridge collapse in Scotland.
The Tay Bridge, it was all over the papers. Horrible storm.
A wind load, and not from the side as expected, but from underneath. So we are adding 1,000 additional tons of steel to stiffen the roadway to ensure its integrity even under the most extreme circumstances.
And the city of Brooklyn will not pay for these changes.
This could be the difference between the bridge standing for 100 years or standing for 10. It's a necessity, and we've responded accordingly.
We?
My husband.
Whom I've never met.
No.
Where is Colonel Roebling, by the way?
Working.
That's right. From your window in the Heights, keeps an eye on things through a telescope. No need to step on a work site in 10 years. This is Brooklyn's bridge now, Mrs. Roebling. Brooklyn is paying his salary, and I expect him to appear in person at the next meeting of the Board of Trustees.
But Mayor Lowe, this is not the way we work.
The steel is
If
the
he
only...
does not comply with this simple request, I will be forced to ask for his immediate resignation.
The schematics.
Please inform your husband, or shall I mail him this letter?
Mayor Lowe, I will show you the schematics. They're just in the other room. I'll be right back. You'll understand, I promise.
She does have the run of the place, doesn't she?
This is entirely unfair.
The public demands accountability, Mr. Kingsley. Someone has to go.
The Roeblings are friends.
Someone of note, someone who's been here since the beginning of this debacle. I thought about you at first. I imagine with some investigation and a bit of government oversight, we could find almost anything about almost anyone.
What are you saying?
$65,000 in cash delivered to Tweed for simply signing his contract, and his shares at 20 cents on the dollar. Rather amusing, isn't it?
What?
The last man standing may actually be the newest on the block. Brooklyn voted for change, and it's our job to give them what they want.
Colonel Roebling's head on a platter.
I've taken the liberty of writing the colonel's letter of resignation for him. Please, deliver with my regards.
Mr. Lowe. Mayor Lowe?
Finish the bridge with the money you have, or don't finish it at all.
Sir, wait. Wait!
Mr. Kingsley, here for the mayor.
Emily.
Mr. Farrington can answer any technical
Mr.
questions.
Farrington resigned his position. Left on the morning train. I thought he would have told you.
What?
He's off to do maintenance work on the bridge in Cincinnati.
He didn't say goodbye.
Dearest Emily, Mayor Lowe has demanded your husband's resignation, and you know I have done everything in my power.
He won't sign it. This will kill him. You're killing the bridge and you're killing him.
It's out of my hands.
He won't sign it. I won't let him.
Stop it, Emily! Don't you understand? There's nothing you can do. You're a woman. You have no real authority in this matter, and you know it. Now be a good girl and go back to your husband and tell him this is the only way forward, and for the sake of the bridge and everyone involved, he needs to believe in it too.
Believer in what?
Like you do. Isn't that right, my dear Emily?
Believer in who?
Success always requires a little compromise.
Hold on to yourself.
From all of us.
For a second and think. You'll know what to do.
Let's not be fools. The bridge will be completed, yes, without the steel. You know we all care deeply for you and your husband.
Oh God, what do I do?
And your friends and families and Trenton will certainly be happy to see you
Believer
both
in what?
back home.
Believer in how?
Safe and sound.
Just don't move a muscle. Stay in the here, stay in the now.
All will be fine.
If I focus and think, a solution I'll find. But I can't clear my mind.
We'll find each other tomorrow.
And the world marches on. How dare they move on, leaving you and me, watching them succeed from behind. Believer in what? Believer in who? This does not add up, so what do I do? Oh God, and now, what to do?
People aren't who you think they are, Washington. Here, from Kingsley. He's throwing us to the wolves. I told him you wouldn't sign it.
You're right.
And Farrington has quit. Gone to Cincinnati.
Surprising. He should have asked us.
It's my fault. I should have been more cautious, more principled. And now Brooklyn is refusing to pay for the additional steel.
They want me to resign because they don't like the truth.
I'm the reason why they're pushing us aside, and why we are denied what should be ours, yours.
They're wanting me out. Who cares how they feel?
And all because of me, of who I am. No, of who I'm not.
And now it's about not getting the steel.
So these forces now collide because of me.
Emily,
the way I've lived,
so what do we do?
and how I've lied.
Don't tell me we're through.
I've lied 10 long years for you, holding on to a father's dream for you, with my little scheme and a smile. But deep inside, all the while, hiding tears from you. So now I'm done with what I've done for you. I've made of us fools by fighting your fight, by breaking the rules. We all know the rules. A wife has no right to live her own life. I have no right. We'll leave here today, since there's no more to say. We'll just run away, letting those with the cards continue to play. So there's no need to stay trapped in here, looking out there from our window. From our window. From our window.
14 panes of glass, designed and built for light to pass, and yet they keep us safe from rain.
A gift from God.
From our window, we'll watch two towers touch the sky. From our window, a thread of cable floating by, and then a road of wooden plank on steel. From bank to bank will seem unreal,
but we will see it happen from our window.
From our window,
from our
window.
Could it be what we've been looking for is right before our eyes, already balancing its forces while it gracefully defies all those who said it would not stand? And now we have to make them see the truth so they will understand our perfect dream is meant to be.
I will visit every member of the Board of Trustees in their homes, Washington. Their wives will greet me politely and serve us tea. I will then sit down with their husbands and demand to be heard by the American Society of Civil Engineers.
And this time, they will hear a woman speak the truth.
Through science,
the laws of nature,
and the grand harmony of opposite forces. And for the life of the bridge, as EF would say, give us the goddamn steel!
Marching on, Mrs. Roebling, marching on. We're marching on.
Please proceed, Mrs. Roebling.
Thank you.
The pages you hold in your hands describe the need for changing plans.
You're bending the rules. She's wasting our time.
Do go on, Mrs. Roebling.
The iron now will be replaced with tempered steel for strength and weight.
No women allowed.
It's time he resigns. Gentlemen, please.
You see, our calculations also show how flexual strength will handle loads to modernize the structure and live well into the future.
Why are we here?
You've listened enough. Gentlemen, please, it's there on the page if you'll just have a look.
With F as the maximum force applied and L as the length of the beams, A equals F times L over 3 times the width and dimension to the power of 2. I shall participate in none but honest enterprises, committing myself to a truth that honors both the laws of science and nature. Words you and my husband as engineers all spoke as your oath to live by. May this bridge stand for generations to come and as a monument to that truth.
Her numbers don't lie.
We share a dream.
'Cause we all got dreams.
Look to the stars. And there we'll find a dream like ours is always meant to be, as we so clearly see from our window. A promise is fulfilled. We said together we would build a bridge that soars beyond our wildest dreams and joins two worlds that can't. It seems believe that it can be. If you will see, then all will see, as we have seen it happen from our window.
Deadlines, and what to draw. I now know what I would like to draw. Emily. But no one would believe it or understand it because it's a man's world. But Emily just may be our exception to the rule. We just don't know it because all we know is written by men and drawn by men. So I guess I will simply sketch this beautiful and finished bridge in all its glory. Her bridge. Their bridge. Our bridge. But I still wonder, will Colonel Roebling ever step foot on it?
Get out of my way, will ya? I'm gonna figure all this out on my own.
Yeah, he's scared to death.
It's quite safe up here. I guarantee it.
He is going to propose to his girl tonight. He's looking for the most romantic spot. We live closer to the Williamsburg Bridge, but he said it had to be the Brooklyn Bridge because it's perfect. Like her.
I know the feeling.
Hey, don't tell me you got a girl too.
I do.
Oh. Where is she?
She's here.
Are you sure this is the best spot?
It is if you want her to say yes.
She'll say yes.
Oh, yes, she'll say yes.
The name of Emily Roebling will be inseparably associated with all that is admirable in human nature and all that is wonderful in the constructive world of art. May this bridge be an everlasting monument to the self-sacrificing devotion of a woman and of her capacity for that higher education which she has been too long disbarred.
Will anyone 100 years from now even recall the men and yes, this woman who got these towers to stand so tall? Though we may not be remembered when all is said and done, still I'll stand up here tonight and tip my hat to what's begun. Yes, we built the bridge. We built the bridge. The men and yes, this woman who got these towers to stand so tall. Though we may not be remembered when all is said and done, still I'll stand up here tonight and tip my hat to what's begun.